We're on the air, Kelly.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to SnarkAlec Radio, a very special SnarkAlec Radio. I'm Kelly Toole at KELLYTHUL on Twitter, and with me, as always, is the man, the myth, the legend, Mike. Mike, say hello to the folks.
Hello, folks. Mike at Official Pagan on Twitter. And Kelly, do you want to introduce our guest, or do you want me to handle that?
Either way is fine. I just want to say Reggie Boumouche first to show that I could say it if I was going to introduce her. But if you would like to introduce her, go ahead, Mike.
Well, now you've already done it, so you might as well do it officially now, though.
We're super excited to have Reggie Boumouche with us today, and we're going to hear all from her and all kinds of exciting things. But Dirty Rotten Gerald Webb did the Ice Bucket Challenge on us, and so Tony is running into his backyard. He's a slow man, so this is taking us a few minutes. When he gets there, he's going to do something.
That's the drugs.
Yeah, he's not. Tony's not very slow. Tony's not slow. Hi, everybody. I'm Tony Solo on Twitter. What's going on? Can you hear me?
The weird part, Reggie, is that's how he normally sounds. That's not.
Yeah.
So weird. The poor guy.
It's really creepy in person.
I hope the ice speeds it up.
Is he gonna? Tony, are you gonna do something?
Okay.
I like that shot.
Oh boy.
What?
Can you guys not hear me?
Here we go.
We can hear you now.
Can you? Okay. Okay. Yeah. As Kelly said, we got nailed by the ALSA.org Ice Bucket Challenge. Gerald Webb nominated me and all the SnarkAlecs.
Did you say Gerald Webb nailed you?
Yes, he did.
And then he nominated him.
And then he nominated me.
Nominated him good.
Yeah.
So in
honor of Gerald Webb, I am wearing an ugly ass shirt, as well as Kelly, with an ugly ass tie. But first, I want to nominate some people. I want to make sure the rest of the SnarkAlecs step up and take the challenge. Scott McDonald 3, you're up next. I want to nominate. Ooh, how about you, Lisa Marie Bowman? You need to take a bucket of ice to the head. The redheaded girl from the Wendy's commercials, she needs to accept the challenge, and the color blue. And having said all that, can you guys see me?
Yes.
Holy shit.
You can't say shit. We're still in the first 5 minutes.
That's right. That's disappointing. Okay, so is he running like the wind now?
Yeah, look at him go. There we go.
All right. So, well. So, what we're going to do here is the challenge. I believe that I am the only one who's using an actual homemade R2-D2 bucket for the challenge. So I got that.
I feel like that's safe to say. You are the only one using that.
I think it is.
Period.
And here's some ice going in. Reggie, so quickly. All right. Go to ALSA.org. Be sure to donate. I would like to extend challenges to Lauren Pacheco and Cynthia's Little Human out in the San Francisco area to do the Ice Bucket Challenge as well. And now everybody's really excited to see if I remember to take the headset off. I am.
So now Kelly can't hear us. So, Reggie, it's always a good thing when the guest turns against Kelly.
Yeah?
Oh, wait, let's see this.
Ooh. That's great.
And that was the show. Good night, everyone.
I hope he
He
can
didn't
swim.
get up. I'm not sure if we should be concerned about that.
Yeah, I was wondering, does he swim?
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't see him move. I saw somebody moving towards the pool. Huh. So, all right, that's how Kelly died. It's
What?
just me and Reggie now. Oh, hey.
I'm back. Camera won't be on for a second here as we take care of some internal injuries, but I'm back. So we'll be relocating. Carry on, Mike. So we're very excited to have Reggie here, and we've done the ice challenge. Has Tony made it back yet, or is the wind running slow?
No, the wind has not reached his camera yet.
Excellent.
So I guess I'll start in with the news, which
you don't have any up?
As Reggie saw, I prepared really well for the news.
You're like a pastor.
Yeah, I know. I don't like to brag, but I put hours and hours of prep work into this before every show.
Yeah, your dead eyes are dead on.
Let's see. Birthdays. Laura sends email day of show. I don't know what that means.
So Laura starts early in the morning with her BlackBerry, builds a coal fire underneath it, and eventually an email comes up by the end of the day. But there are no birthdays to announce for this month.
Oh, okay. So she hasn't trained squirrels to run to power it yet? That's what I would.
That is correct.
So
Kelly's back.
Oh, Kelly, you did the plunge? I missed it.
Yeah, I did. Yes, I did.
You look wet.
I am wet.
You guys are messing up my flow with the news here. I nailed that birthday.
Carry on, Cronkite.
Nailed it.
Carry on.
Destroyed it. This Sunday in Wilmington, Delaware, is a screening of A House Is Not a Home, which is Gerald Webb's movie. I'm very excited to be going there. Tony will be going. Tony, is your daughter coming with you?
Oh, yes, she is.
Tony's daughter will be coming. It's really exciting. All you guys should be there. Snark Stock, which we can talk about later.
Yeah, and if anybody would like to go to see the screening, if they could hit either Mike or myself up, we can send you a link to the to get tickets. So if anybody's going to be in the Wilmington, Delaware area,
and Tony is making all kinds of crazy promises about what Gerald will do if you come to his movie screening. So, what did you have him up to? He's giving us all free posters that he's signing and buying us lunch, and
everybody's getting a new car, just like it's like going to the Oprah show. A new car. You get a car, and you get a car, and you get a car.
Gerald must be really excited about this.
Well, you see, right now,
Dylan knows don't have a date or time yet.
Yes, we do.
We do, yes.
It just wasn't for
Saturday.
They're all surprises.
No, it's not a surprise if you would look at your tweet, your Twitter, because you're going to be on Dylan's show Saturday at 4:00. You should know what time it is.
I'm assuming you're talking to Mike.
Mike, yes, Mike.
No,
yes.
I do know what time it is. I said we do have a time for that.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, thanks for really paying attention to my awesome news feed here.
Okay. I thought you said you don't have a time because you.
No, well, it says don't have a time yet in your news notes that you gave me that I prepared hours ahead. And we do have a time. It's Saturday at 4:00, and it's going to be amazing. We're going to do something on there that's so incredible. I can't tell you about it yet. Yes, it involves male nudity and body piercing, though. That's all I'm going to say. Kelly knows all about both of those things.
Okay, so you and Brianne Adams, Dylan, and Bronwyn are going to be on the show. So there's two ladies, and so the male nudity is either going to be you or Dylan.
That's what you would think. But
that's the kind of deductive reasoning that Tony Solo's noted for. Congratulations.
He's like Sherlock Holmes.
It's like, whoa! It's like Monk.
But I've seen both of you guys naked already, so there's nothing new there.
You see me naked, Dylan naked, you saw Vex naked last week.
Is that what happens on this podcast? Is that why I was invited?
Because Vex was naked?
Did you just invite new people every week to get naked?
Well,
Actually,
I mean,
that's
it's
a good
not
idea.
Just to get naked, we do interviews and stuff,
That's
too.
Right.
Naked radio interviews.
Naked radio. Hey, it's theater of the mind.
No, Vex got naked off air all on his own just to do it. So.
What a nice guy.
He's good like that. He's a giver.
So that means you're the receiver.
And he was here in the room with me. So naked Vex's penis was once again only, this far away from my head.
Really? That far?
Oh.
Did it get any closer?
Not that time.
Okay.
So moving on with the news. On Sci-Fi on 8/23, Mirrors. I'll let
Reflect on
Tony
that.
give a description of that. Okay, so moving on. On Sci-Fi,
It's a silent movie. It's really
8:30, Bait. On Sci-Fi, High Noon series premiere, series pilot, 9:15. And Kelly, do you have a boo of the week? Since
Well,
nobody
you
won't
skipped
tell us
over
anything about
High
what-
Noon. High Noon is the series premiere of Z Nation, Zombie Nation. And they're
So why
starting
does it say High Noon?
because that's the name of the episode.
See, all right, Reggie, they tell me that I'm bad at doing the news, but then these are the notes that they give me. How am I supposed to work with this?
I watched this from the beginning, and I saw you completely set up. It's not even right.
Right. See, you saw me preparing. I was getting my newscaster voice ready, doing like
Combing your
vocal
beard?
warm-ups.
I saw
Yeah.
you comb your beard. It was really serious.
I comb my beard. Normally, there's like dreadlocks forming on the sides, but I get that out right before the show. I do that for you guys. Nobody appreciates it, though.
nope.
Nope, not at all.
No. Yada yada
Kelly,
yada.
you have a boo of the week?
Yes, I do, as a matter of fact. And we had a quasi. I don't know how much we're going to talk about it. Not a horribly bad science fiction movie, Zodiac: Signs of the Apocalypse. And there was ample booing during the show, but I have to go off the bad sci-fi movie and instead go to Under the Dome, where there's a very. What I noticed on Under the Dome is about 75% of the tweets are people going, oh, that guy's dreamy, oh, that guy's dreamy, oh, that guy's dreamy. And they're not all Tony. I mean, there's some other people that are tweeting too. But there's some funny stuff too. And I happened to, there was the main character, Barbie, had crawled under a truck and grabbed a hold of it and was hiding underneath it and kind of slid into an area because he was going to go try and achieve something. And I said, it looks like Barbie's on a transmission. That received a really quick and loud boo from Tony. But Laura Norman booed me with a graphic. And so I think she's got to get Boo of the Week for booing me with a graphic. So Boo of the Week goes to Laura Norman for Barbie's on a transmission with a graphic.
And Tony, before we move on, do you want to fist us?
We have 3 minutes.
Oh, never mind. I'm just over anxious.
We've all been there. It's okay.
I don't know what to say.
So Kelly, you're the host.
Yeah. So we're going to be
start the
coming
next
back.
segment.
We're going to be coming back shortly. We're going to take a break in around 5 minutes or so, and then we're going to come back. And Tony, did you watch any Defiance, or were you busy preparing for your event?
I watched the first episode. I had a lot of things in place prior to, and I'm recording now.
So I didn't see either because of the massive production that was to set up over here. So I don't know if we want to do any Defiance this week
You
or
had
not.
like a crew of people, didn't you?
Yes, I did. I got people. Yeah, I did.
All I had was Jen, and she was way over anxious to pour that on my head. She found, first off, it was a pot, and it was the biggest pot that I've ever seen. It must have been like 4 feet deep. I didn't even think we owned that. I'm pretty sure she bought it today just to do that. She could barely pick it up. She's small. She could barely lift this, but even straining and struggling had the biggest smile on her face.
Yeah, because it's probably the first time you took a bath in weeks. I'm just kidding, Mike.
Ah,
Yeah,
terrible. You see the way that I'm treated here?
That's right. Yeah, pretty much. That's the way it goes. You know what? I'm going to go be crazy. I'm going to call for a break now, maybe a minute early, but that's the way I roll. So you're listening to SnarkAlec Radio and Live 365 is loud and loaded, and we'll be right back. And we're back. You're listening to SnarkAlec Radio and Live 365's loud and loaded station. We have Tony, Mike, Kelly, and Reggie Boumouche with us today. And I'm going to just keep saying the name because I can, because it's cool.
And we're definitely past the 6-minute mark, so the fucks are coming out.
Fuck yeah.
Fucking A.
There you go. So Tony, did you want to do anything on Defiance or skip that? Do we want to do anything on Zodiac?
Why don't we do a little bit on Zodiac, and then we'll talk to Reggie.
Okay,
I
cool.
guess.
I guess one thing that would have been great before the show started, but we had like a lot of stuff going on. Reggie, how long are you able to stay with us tonight?
I can hang out whenever. I have a 6-pack and nothing to do.
All right.
Damn it. You want to know something?
It's a great
Where were
band.
you when I was a teenager? I've got a 6-pack and nothing to do. Let's hang out. Never happened.
Definitely. Cool. All righty. So we'll go into. Is there any heads up you want to give to the Defiance fans out there, Tony, on it, or you just want to go into Zodiac?
The only heads up I want to give you, or I'm going to give you a spoiler. Sarah Connor shows up at the end of the episode. The end of the first one, anyway. So.
Like the character?
No. Linda Hamilton shows up.
Oh, now you just ruined the show. I'm not going to watch it.
You weren't watching it anyway, so.
But if I wanted to.
It's going to continue not to watch. All right. Oh, boy, and we got all sorts of tweets of the night loaded up in the...
Yeah, I did that when nobody was looking.
That's fancy. All right. So I'm looking at it here, too, trying to figure out what the order is.
Did we ever take that break, Cal?
Yeah, we did.
Okay.
Took that break and we came back.
I know we talked about
you were
taking
so
a break.
riveted. You were so riveted to the show, filling in the side window, that you missed the break. So yes, we had a break.
Tony is very present tonight.
Yeah. I think he's the ice. The ice is just kind
It's been a long day.
All right. You want to do another one right now, Tony? We could.
Nah,
You know, just
sorry.
like.
I mean, I see. You know what it is? I felt left out too because I didn't get fisted.
Yeah, it's a night's young, right? So, all right. So, so Reggie, do you watch any of these really kind of bad science fiction movies on Sci-fi or other places?
I don't. I feel like I can't contribute too much to that.
Well, we could still make you read them.
Yeah, let's take a quick break. I'm going to read everything about this, and then I'll come right back.
Yeah, just a little break. But yeah, context is not important because these movies don't really have context. What would be fun is if you could like read a couple of these with just go for it, hard enthusiasm with no context or knowing what they're saying, but give it your all. That might be good radio. I don't know.
Yeah.
We could try one out, right? So
Yeah.
Tony, you scroll to the top here of your list, or
Yeah, the top it's in the right order. So it's in the at the top
Okay.
is from the
So-
beginning of the movie.
I don't know if Reggie got the Q&A open.
Not the Q&A, the chat. It's
The
the
chat rather. Yeah.
Where am
There's
I
a-
looking?
Okay, there's a little. Go ahead, Tony.
on the left side of the screen.
Uh-huh.
There's a little blue square with some white lines in it.
Ooh.
That looks like a cartoon bubble type thing. If you click that, it'll open up a window on the right side of the screen.
Oh, I had that open, but I see a bunch of tweets.
Yeah, that's it.
Yep, that would be it. Yeah,
Where am
what we'd want you to get to is one that starts Helena McGee.
Well, why doesn't Howard Hughes show us how it's done?
Do the first one, and so she can see where it's at. But it'll be the
Yeah,
one.
lead by example.
Yeah, Reggie.
Yeah,
Just
Yeah,
so
so this is going to be an excellent leading by example because I too did not see this.
but you can
I
still
also
sell it.
don't have any sort of basis for where what they're talking about, so I'm just going to go full on enthusiasm with everyone.
There you go.
And it's important to note too that Helena and I have something between us.
A side piece relationship, whatever that is.
Nice.
Before I even start this tweet, so Helena at Helena McGee, tweet of the night retweet at Holodill again. That was good emphasis, right?
That's good. Good start.
Again, Pluto gets the shaft. Hashtag Zodiac. So I don't know what that means, but I gave it my all.
All right.
That was well done. And that, of course, was because in the movie they were talking about the various planets, and they had done the politically correct thing and were counting the planets out, and Pluto was not amongst the orbiting orbs. So that's the context for you. That's why it was funny. So, yeah, Reggie, you don't have to read the hashtag out. If you want to, you can just kind of do the sentence. If you want to mention the names at the beginning, you can, or you can just read the one. So would you like to take the next one? Give it a
Yeah,
shot.
next one.
Next
She's too young to go into that cave, but it's only a minor quibble. Hashtag Zodiac. Boo.
And tweet of the night. So I got booed and nominated.
Yeah, that was Kelly. That was Kelly.
Got to do those minor tweets with kids. It's kind of a required pun. State law. So.
What is that? A Kragel.
So are you being just coy with us, Mr. Solo? Or
Yeah, no, I'm just because I always thought it was released the Kraken. And
So you've not seen the Lego movie?
no, I just don't go to kids' movies.
You didn't see the Lego movie?
It's too cool. It's too cool for us.
I saw that in theaters.
Big fancy Tony. Too cool to see Lego.
I don't have children, so it was creepy as fuck.
Yeah, I know. That's the problem. You don't have kids.
That's not a problem.
No, it's a problem that he goes to a kids' movie.
Oh, yeah.
It's kind of like pulling up the white van and having the little kids come by and saying, "Hey, could you help me put this sofa inside?"
So I can tweet out later. You think the Lego movie is a piece of crap, right?
No,
That's what he said.
It sounded to me like that's what he said.
He said everyone who loved
kid.
and adored that movie is an idiot.
An idiot. Yeah. Okay. Good. Quote. Tony Solo.
Direct quote.
There you go. So release the
I love
Kragel.
that movie, Tony.
It was awesome. It's a great movie. Everything is awesome in that movie. Anyway, they asked, and it was Gigi Fletcher had asked for the Kragel to be released at that point in time, which didn't exactly happen, but it was a great reference.
We spent like 35 minutes discussing that one tweet.
Yeah. All right, Mike, we'll move along. I'm going to say I read the last one, Tony, so you read the next one.
in a sci-fi movie, no one can hear you scream. And there's a secondary. This was one of those built tweets. They are screaming because the CGI is so bad. I didn't think the CGI was bad in that movie, but
Really? Every single thing looked like a big gray blob. It was, here comes a tornado, it's a big gray blob. Here comes a hurricane, it's a big gray blob. Here comes a flood, it's a big gray blob. It was the same thing.
it was the same thing for
How
everybody.
did all of those things happen in this movie?
Zodiac signs.
Yeah, there was like 6 people in this movie. There was like nobody, and they were out in the woods on the side of this mountain. And every time they got in the car, they'd get out of it, and then the car would get destroyed. So they ended up doing a lot of walking. It was really funny, you know?
You know, a movie has really good CGI? The Lego Movie.
Yeah, but it's kid CGI. That crappy kid CGI is not any good at all. All right, I believe, Howard, you're up next.
Am I?
Mhm.
Yeah.
I should have been paying attention. Let's see.
That's that show.
Nice thing. See, I was trying to get into it and you cut me off.
Do over.
I know. All right. Nice thing about tissue suits. Cleanup is easy when you crap yourself. Truth. Hashtag Zodiac. What the fuck happened in this movie?
Well, in this part of the movie, they are experimenting. They've got something in a lead container, and they're releasing it, and they're closing it back in. And the people that are working with it are wearing what I guess are supposed to be hazmat suits, but it sure looks like they're made out of Kleenex. They're just these like really light tissue suits, and they're standing about 3 feet away from this thing that has potentially, highly destructive capabilities. So the tissue suits did not. We were concerned about the people in tissue suits.
Rightly so.
Yeah, absolutely. But that was Tony's tweet, by the way. So.
Yeah, I thought that was funny.
All right.
I guess it was only me.
Yeah. Well, sometimes you just got to please yourself. So that's good.
Yeah.
So
I guess
Reggie.
they don't.
See that self-restraint? You said please yourself. I didn't make a single comment.
You are.
This is personal growth right here.
That is excellent. And you watched the Lego movie, and you've still grown that much. It's amazing. I don't know how that happened. So, Reggie, would you like to take a shot at the next one?
Let's see. We're at dawn.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Of course you don't know what happened yet. We don't know, and we watch this all the time. That was at MJ McCann.
Cal?
Okay, so I was at a white boy being thrown away. Was on the wrong spot.
Okay.
But okay, there. Yeah, so I guess I did that one. So this was also from Don Snarks, who was on fire. Holly Wilson nominated her for Tweet of the Night. Okay, who threw away a perfectly good white boy? Which can't really remember when that happened, but a perfectly good white boy was indeed thrown away.
Yes, he was. The next one.
Strangest movie. I actually don't want to see it because the movie I'm creating in my head based on these tweets is so much better than this film could ever be.
Yeah.
The next one was from a big evil corporation. And Big Evil Corporation says, for your information, Polydynamics finishes dead last in the intra-evil basketball leagues. And Polydynamic was the name of the company that was behind this. Not really, but they were the evil corporation that was involved.
Kind of a mid-sized evil corporation. They weren't a big evil corporation, but they were decent sized.
They weren't like an evil Fortune 500?
No, they were kind of evil 1000 tops, I think. So then I'll take the next one, I think. Or are we back? Yeah, I'll just take the next one anyway, because it's Lisa Marie. I nominated it. And so, Reggie, in this movie, and I can't really... I mean, they didn't really try hard to have a thread to connect all this stuff. It was like, tissue suits, this, that. But somehow when the Zodiac sign appeared, if like a comet moved like the symbol for Aries or something like that, then things happened. And so each sign had like its own different thing, including several of them that was big, gray, blobby CGI. But Aries launched kind of meteors, and they were falling all over the place, but they were hitting nothing. They were just kind of falling all over. So Lisa Marie Bowman appropriately tweets, Aries has terrible aim, because it didn't hit anything. So.
You know, I kind of feel like this should have been sent to me as homework. Like, Reggie, you should watch this movie before this happens.
Well, that was Mike's job, I think.
Mike!
Way to go, bud.
Mike, you're
I
making
was
a
so busy preparing myself.
Yeah, the news.
working on that beard, working at the news.
Working on the beard, working on the news. It's too. I got a mohawk a few hours ago just so I could dump ice on my mohawk. This is my level of commitment to our listeners.
There's a, I think we can. There's a couple up here from MJ Khan that we can hit, and let's see if there's any more. Mike, why don't you read the next one from the next two from MJ Khan? MJ
Sure.
Khan.
I know exactly where we are. On
How's that food there, Tony?
Speaking of Iraq, that's it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of Iraq, Iraq is out of control. Oh, all right, I get it. Now let me do it again. I didn't understand it the first time, so let me do it again. Speaking of Iraq, Iraq is out of control.
I love being able to hear you figure it out.
It's like if you gave like a monkey a toy and it was like trying to almost, but not quite.
The way that they treat me.
Read the next one, Mike.
Wait, no, I just did one.
He said to do two in a row.
Oh, you and your counting. Oh, never mind. That almighty Johnson's is not what I thought it was going to be. That was fucking funny.
Okay. Yeah, and I know it's hard to believe that wasn't Mike responding to the last tweet saying that. That was
No,
Mike
it says
reading
that.
the entire tweet. It's hard to. It was so awesomely delivered. Cool. I think that's about enough. Unless there's like, I think that's about enough. I'm looking through there. I think it's enough. I don't think there's anything. That's good. That's good.
That's it. We're done with that. So why don't we
I'm
take
not
a break?
gonna. You know what? I'm not gonna pat myself on the back too hard, but I did an excellent job.
As did Reggie. I would say you did the second best job, Mike. I'm going to give it to Reggie because she
Aw,
did better. So.
thanks. You're just being nice because I'm the guest.
And I don't like Mike. That's another
Yeah,
component.
that too.
That's another component. But we're going to take a break. You're listening to SnarkAlec Radio on Live 365's Loud and Loaded channel, and we will be right back. And we're back. We are listening to, and so are you, listening to SnarkAlec Radio on Live 365's Loud and Loaded. We got Tony, we got Mike, we got Kelly, and we got Reggie Boumache with us. I think we're going to actually talk to Reggie now instead of making her read tweets from a movie she didn't watch. What a great deal, huh, Reggie? Where you say, boy, I sure hope they have me come on and just read stuff about something I didn't watch. That sounds great.
Yeah, tweets at that too, like very character descriptions.
Yeah, and third retweeted co-response. Yeah, that's good stuff.
Hashtag blah 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 blah.
Iraq.
That was a good one.
Yeah, it was actually.
Be a good Twitter handle. But Mike has gathered some questions on Facebook in the way that Mike does for many of our guests. So I know he's got a stack of questions to start to run Reggie's way. Tony, I didn't know if you had. Am
I allowed to ask questions?
No.
Tell you what. Oh, there you go. I'm going to go with the guest on this, and Tony is not allowed to ask questions.
Oh, Tony, you can ask questions.
No, type them in the chat window, Tony, and I'll ask them for you. Okay. So. Yes, you're allowed to
your Twitter handle, though, so we know it's from you.
Yeah, because we're not certain. So, Reggie, can Tony ask questions, please?
Yeah, sure.
Awesome. Okay. I will actually. That's not a question, Tony. That's a request.
It all depends on how you say it. Go fuck yourself. Then it's a question if you go up at the end.
Yeah. What kind of voice was that? Anyway, okay. You want to lead off, or Tony, or I can?
Well, yeah, I want to ask about Old City Sideshow and how it got started and other stuff. But I'll ask Reggie, not you. So Reggie, tell us about the Old City Sideshow and how you got started into what Mike tells us is burlesque.
Sideshow
activities.
I guess almost a decade ago, Martin Ling and Danny Borneo had gotten together, and they were really excited about starting a sideshow. Dan had been at Coney Island Sideshow School, and Martin had done pyrotechnics for Barnum and Bailey. And they were just really excited to start something. I happened to be there in the beginning, so I asked to be a part of it, and that's why I wound up doing a geek act, which is all the insect eating, like the entry-level stuff. And when we first started, we were 4 people.
So insect eating is the entry level. I want to kind of piece through this to go through. So this is like freshman class is insect eating.
Yeah.
Is that what it is? Okay.
That's like we don't really like you too much, but we'll let you be a part of this because nobody wants to watch 2 dudes hurt each other on stage. I mean, at least they weren't going to start off making money that way. There is a market for it, but I don't know that they knew how to tap into that specific area of performance. I don't know that they were interested either. But we started off as a 4-piece. We had an inside talker and Martin Ling and Danny Borneo and then me.
What's an inside talker, if you don't mind my asking?
He's basically our host and our announcer. He would talk all of our acts. Previously, we were all silent characters. We were a very traditional, old-timey circus sideshow type feeling show. Everything from our clothes to how we behaved, which meant that we were silent characters, because in an old sideshow tent, you would have a talker announcing all of the acts and talking for everybody that came up on stage, and they would do their act. The talker would talk through it and explain it to the audience and then say, all right, ladies and gentlemen, that was the Sword Swallower. Goodbye. And then the next act would come up, and they would talk that also. Some people call them barkers, and that's inaccurate.
Okay. And barker would be inaccurate because they weren't actually barking, they were actually talking.
Yeah, dogs bark.
Yes. Okay. I got it. So insect eating is entry level. But I don't know if a lot of people. I mean, I've seen some sideshow acts. If you go to, carnivals and stuff, you could see, like there are some guys that do the piercing type things where they'll put something through like fingers and stuff, and
The human pincushion.
yeah, and so let's say you graduate from insect eating. Where do you go from there?
Well, I mean, ideally you would study under somebody, and then you develop acts based on who you're mentoring under. A lot of people, you can usually tell who you studied under by the acts that you do and your presentation and like your spin on things. My stuff's very performance oriented because I study under somebody who's known for his escapes, and he needs everything to have a story. So a lot of my stuff's performance driven. But then beyond that, you would just kind of learn different acts in the time that you were given.
So what was the first insect, Reggie? Your very first. So I assume you had kind of existed and moved through life not eating a lot of insects, and then you reach a point in your life where this becomes a more regular occurrence. And so, what's the first insect? Did you name it?
It was definitely mealworms.
Ooh, and how was that?
It was really gross. The shells, like the way that they interact, they when you chew them in your mouth, they kind of stick in your teeth like popcorn kernels.
Oh, I hate that. I would never be able to do that.
Yeah, and then when you bite into them, it's all goo on the inside, and then popcorn kernely mess on the outside, and you have to floss. It's awful.
Flossing's good. Is there a special mealworm floss?
And I'm assuming that you're eating these live, right?
Yes.
Okay, because it would just be cheating if you put them up in a blender and just went and hit the puree and wow.
That's pretty fancy. That's more circus than sideshow.
Okay.
Okay. Hey, so help us out with that a little bit. So circus versus sideshow. What would be distinctions?
Well, circus is always under the big tent. That's basically always been considered the big show. That's where you have your aerials, you have your horse shows, you have the animals. That's basically what people were paying to see back in the day. And the sideshow was the more or less shocking things off to the side, which included human oddities, a blow-off, working acts. So like human oddities and people that were born different, like actual freaks.
Like
and
the
then
beauty lady and stuff.
Yeah, and then self-made freaks, like people that actually made themselves look different. And then there's working acts, and those are people that have like trained and learned specific skills. They would be working under a tent next to the big tent.
So which kind of freak is Mike?
He's definitely a born freak.
Born freak. Okay, good.
I wear that with pride.
Which is my friendly segue, Michael, into if you wanted to maybe tap into a question or two from your Facebook pile of questions.
Yes. Yeah, I'll definitely do that. And of course, I have that pulled up in front of me because I am prepared.
Prepared, yes. Or would you like a moment, Michael?
Yeah.
Okay,
why don't you give me a second just so I can run down those questions one more time that are right in front of me.
So I have a couple questions.
So how many questions do you have, Tony?
I don't know. I make them up as I go along, Kelly. Okay. Such as
take pauses. Take pauses.
Where does one get mealworms? Do you go to the mealworm store or
Walmart?
Where is the mealworm section in Walmart?
Some places you can go to PetSmart, and some Walmarts actually have them either in the pet department or they have them in the fishing department, which is where I get my night crawlers.
Okay.
Hey, I have those Facebook questions.
Hey, Mike, go!
Okay, our first question is from Vex Vex X of the band Starscream. And I believe you know Vex, don't you?
I do. I actually watched the beginning of him last week with you guys.
The beginning. So you gave up? It was like, oh, this is crap.
No,
why did I agree to do this show? Who's Kelly? What?
Guys are idiots.
They're gonna make me watch the Lego movie.
Yeah, it's a kids movie. You guys are morons.
So his question is, how old were you when you first ingested broken glass?
Oh, I don't actually eat glass. My brother Dan does in the show. I'm not a glass eater. I'm really particular about my teeth.
So that question didn't work then.
No, Max, you blew it.
Damn it, Vic. Well, he's got another one further down the list, so I'll skip
Way
to
to
his
ruin
next
our
question.
show from the distance, man.
I know. Oh, Vex.
Max.
He's got another question later, though, so I'll just skip to that one. So it'll be like Vex asked a question. He wants us to find out if the young lady is currently involved with anyone or in a relationship. Obviously, this is vital to understanding what you do as a performer.
Oh, for sure. Definitely.
I think he finished it asking for a friend. I'm not sure.
Yeah, who was that guy that kept on sending questions in last week? That Paul guy?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's him. Whatever.
Paul. Yeah, I usually don't talk about whether or not I'm involved with somebody. I just got out of a really long-term relationship, but yeah.
So Vex, nice way to throw two awkward questions to him. Vex. You know what? You need to block
Why
him.
am I getting
Get him
blamed?
off.
This is all Vex.
I know.
All Vex.
Hey, listen, on the SnarkAlec Radio show, we kill the messenger. So you're the messenger?
It's very disappointing.
Yes, it is.
So we out of Vex questions that are going to...
Derail the show and bring
Is
us...
there any way for him to call in? If things start going really well, can he just call in?
Yeah, well, if Vex is out there, he could certainly tweet. And, well, if we've got any tweets going out there right now, folks, with questions for Reggie, we should probably check that. I'm still kind of recovering from the whole beginning of the show thing, so I'll look at Twitter. But
So, I saw Reggie the other week at the Franklin Institute.
And just to clarify, can we clarify, because Mike, anytime you mention Institute and a place that you've been, can you clarify that that's what Franklin Institute is? Because some people might be confused.
The Franklin Institute is where I was briefly visiting Kelly while he was incarcerated. It was court-ordered. The things that he did, honestly, were so atrocious that I still don't believe I can repeat them on the air.
The Franklin Institute is right off Kelly Drive, you know.
Yeah, you, Mr. After the show, Mr. I'll talk to you about Kelly Drive a little more. That's funny but unnecessary.
So, Reggie, how would you describe the Franklin Institute for anyone who doesn't know?
I think it's always been more geared towards kids, like a visual and every type of senses used to describe different scientific things, like walking through the human heart to understand anatomy and things like that. So it's a very interactive museum, so it's not quite a Please Touch museum, but it's a little bit more advanced, but always been geared more towards kids, which is why they started doing nighttime events to bring back people our age that want to come and have a good time and see the exhibits, but not be surrounded by tons of snot and little people.
Well, I know Mike's a big Please Touch fan, so it's a surprise that this is not that kind of museum, but okay.
So anyway, when I saw Reggie there the other week, I had some friends with me, and my friend Dan was chosen to be the assistant for the first act, which included standing on Reggie. So he wanted to ask you how you were doing after that. He's very concerned for you.
Yeah, I saw that on Facebook. He was like, basically, how much money do I owe her for these medical bills? No, it was fine. It was actually cool. The next show, we actually selected another person named Dan also by mistake. It was really bizarre. It started becoming like kind of just, we did 4 shows that night, and 2 of the guys that we picked were Dan for that act. But yeah, he stood on me while I was on a bed of nails.
Okay. Let's go to bed of nails for a sec, can we? So how do you know if you're good at that?
You just you lay down and figure it out, and you know immediately, I think, whether or not you're going to be good at it, or whether you're going to do it again.
So
that's what Kelly told me the first time I met. Oh wait.
Just shut up. So those are like nails, right? It's a bed, you're laying on it, and then someone steps on you, and Doesn't that hurt?
Yeah.
Like a lot?
Well, it's kind of a tiered act. So we have a volunteer come up and throw an apple onto it, just lob it on so that way it falls, and they pull it out and they can see that the nails are sharp and it goes through the apple. And then I lay on it and then they stand on me. Then they get off and then we put a cinder block on my chest and it's broken with a 20-pound sledgehammer. And then I get up from that act and show everybody my back.
So I'm assuming whoever swings the sledgehammer is a very good friend of yours. Someone you trust a lot.
Well, I've actually started doing a lot more, since I started doing more performance art too, I started going out solo and actually having people in the audience just selecting them and letting them do that to me.
Oh, I think that's a bad idea.
That's a bad idea.
It's an interesting idea.
Most people I know do that to me. Especially these two guys.
Yeah, you realize your audience could consist of people like you're talking to right now.
Oh, yeah. It's
Do
part
the
of the
math
great
on that.
human experiment. It's great.
Oh, wow, you're brave.
Well,
Very brave.
Reggie, if my name was Mike, and I would not invite Kelly to hit a cinder block on my chest with a sledgehammer, because I know he would miss.
On purpose?
Yeah, that's just the way Kelly is. Everybody knows that.
Yeah, mean old Kelly. Yeah, picking on poor little Mike all the time.
Tony's fisting us.
Oh.
It's about time. I was feeling a little unloved.
I just met him.
So sudden.
It's just his way of saying hello.
So really,
It was an accidental fisting.
That's so nice, Tony. Thank you.
it's a great movie, Accidental Fist. Anyway, we're going to be back. Before we leave, I did need to mention on the Twitterverse, Vex has taken the position that his questions were not awkward. It was the delivery, and we will visit that. We will visit that concept more when we come back. You're listening to SnarkAlec Radio on Live 365's Loud and Loaded, and we'll be right back. Hey everybody, we're back. You're listening to SnarkAlec Radio on Live 365's Loud and Loaded. We've got Mike, Tony, and the super awesome Reggie Boumouche. And I think, first of all, we're going to allow Mike a chance to defend his honor, such as it were. Vex says his questions weren't awkward, it was your delivery. Mike, would you care to respond?
Vex, text me and tell me how you would like me to deliver them, and I'll re-ask the same questions then.
Excellent.
So, wait, no, I just have text from Kelly. Kelly, that's an inappropriate picture. I'll show everyone what Kelly sent me. Everyone could clearly see that.
Yeah.
I want to see it.
Yeah. Reggie would like to see it, Mike. Maybe you could hold the phone a little more still.
No, she definitely
maybe,
saw it. It was
maybe.
clear. It was perfectly
Yeah.
clear. For the people listening at home.
Yeah, it's a good thing that this is a radio show, because that would definitely...
It'd get us off the air. Yeah, I don't know so much about that. So Reggie, just a little bit. It's really cool. And so you were just named, and I'm gonna probably get this wrong here, but is it the 2014 Burlesque Bitch
Oh, yeah.
2014?
Yeah.
Is that like, does the Academy decide that? How's that?
Yeah.
It was kind of like, we take care of the Emmys and then we go to this. So that sounds like a cool thing. How does that come about? And are you fired up about that?
Yeah, I'm really excited about it. So burlesquebitch.com is an online magazine-style website that has a lot to do with burlesque, but also incorporates variety and Sideshow and a bunch of other cool things. And it was a People's Choice Award. So I ran, and people had to vote every day for me. So if you were friends with me on Facebook a couple of months ago, you were just really interested in blocking me nonstop. Because it was, vote for me today, vote for me today. Everybody had to continually go back and continue to vote on Facebook for me to win that contest, and it was really cool. Last year, my friend Kat Delac won, which made it a little bit cooler that I won this year, too. We're doing a 2-week tour in California together now that's going to end at the beginning of the Burlympics, which is where I would be, like, given
Pardon me, the what?
For Olympics.
Yeah, so there's kind of regionals all over the world for this, for Burlesque Bitch. They have Berlympics, and so you like the winner of Pittsburgh and the winner of the Berlympics in DC, or even the Berlin and Milan. All those winners are going to be in LA starting on the 5th to the 7th, and they'll be competing in different categories to win against all the other finalists.
Oh, cool. So you'd think it would be in Berlin, though.
I just please tell me you guys march out. But I see, because that's my thing. I just like live tweet Olympic ceremonies when people walk in and out, and just keep my I can go on and on. It's so fun. So I would love to live tweet the Berlympics opening ceremony. That would be amazing. Cool. That would
burning
be awesome.
pasties, like twirling and fire torches.
Yeah, there you go.
We'll choreograph it for next year.
There you go.
So, Mike, do you have any more Facebook questions?
Yes, there was a few more. This gentleman, Kelly Toole, apparently put a couple of questions on there. Kelly, why don't you read those questions?
Because I don't have Facebook up, Mike, but I can read the first one because I know it, because I asked it last week and you didn't ask it. And so my question to Reggie is Kelly 5 times or 4 times cooler than Mike? 5 times or 4 times cooler than Mike? I
would only say 4 times.
That's fair.
But that was because I got to see his news preparation. I was greatly impressed.
That's and I'm willing, and I think it's a conservative, but I'll buy into that and be 4 times cooler than Mike. So thanks for that. Cool.
Yeah.
And why don't you read the next one, Mike? Since that's the one you probably didn't want to read.
Well, I'll get to Kelly's other one later, but I had a question. We discussed a little bit on Facebook that you performed at the Trocadero, which is one of my favorite venues in the city. What are some of your favorite venues to perform at?
Oh, man. So the green room at Union Transfer is pretty baller. That was probably one of the bigger stages that I'd been on, but it had like a pretty elaborate 3 different back rooms. I'm really into green rooms. I think after putting all my years in of getting changed and put into costumes and bathroom stalls, green rooms are pretty much how I rate venues now at this point, like perks. Do you have a bottle of water? Holy shit, you're the greatest place I've ever been. You start getting really spoiled about stuff like that. But I like the Beer Baron in DC a lot. I performed there a bunch. I did enjoy performing at Lava Lounge in Pittsburgh, but they're no longer doing a lot of variety shows. That's an entire venue that looks like the inside of a volcano. It's really bizarre.
I think we've lost Tony.
Oh, no.
No, I'm here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tony's not really a fan of the show.
Screw this.
He's never really been into it. We're trying to get him pumped. We're trying to get him excited, but he's just whatever.
Throwing ice on him should have fired him up.
I love that picture. How can I do that?
Well, you might not want to exactly do that. You might want to go for something a little different. But
I think we should all do that with just names underneath us.
Yeah. What? Yeah, I've got a face for radio, which is why this works awesome overall. But we do the live thing too. But so we've lost Tony or the camera's off for Tony momentarily. So I got another question from Vex, who did a pity follow back after I whined about it last week. So thanks for that, Vex. You need to get on Twitter, by the way, Reggie.
I am on Twitter.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
She was tagged in some of the tweets.
Her Twitter account was?
Yeah.
Huh. I don't read your tweets. Anyway,
I'm trying to get Kelly into this show too, Reggie.
Yeah.
Well, I'm into the show. I'm not into your tweets
I found Reggie's Twitter and it was protected, so I thought maybe that she was keeping it private. So that Twitter handle I did not use.
Twitter's the only thing I have on lockdown. Everything else is almost completely open. It's almost pointless to be my friend on Facebook because almost everything I do is public. But my Twitter account, I'm just super curious about who wants to read my tweets. They're almost identical to my Facebook, but I don't let anybody know that. I'm just interested in who sends requests to follow me.
Okay. All right. Well, you'll be getting one. But anyway, Vex. Follow-up question. So I'm a little worried because Vex's official position is he asks no awkward questions. It's all in delivery. So we'll have to see here.
Sorry,
But,
Beck.
So here's Vex's question. What are a list of things that Reggie swallows during her performance?
Jeez.
How was the delivery on that?
I think it was
Not
way
nearly
nicer
as good
than-
as mine.
Well, yeah. I'll give you, I don't have the powerful baritone. I'll give you that.
I think Mike would have made it a hell of a lot creepier.
As everything he says is.
Yeah.
That's really what I go for in life.
Man, trying to think, like, night crawlers, goldfish, or in a regular show. Definitely a lot of beer and whiskey.
I don't think I ever expected in my life to hear the sentence "night crawlers and goldfish in a regular show." So you and I watched an interview with you. Was the creepy basement? I can't remember the exact.
Oh yeah, the creepy basement.
Creepy basement. And you had a little bit of a goldfish story there. Could you kind of tell that? Because that was pretty cool.
Oh, it's pretty awesome. Awful.
Well, yeah. Yeah, when I said cool, I meant awful. But could you share it? Could you relive the pain? Thank you.
Yeah, we were booked to do some sort of outside festival. It was a fundraiser. When we showed up, it was definitely a mainline type of scene. There were a couple different stages for bands, and they basically had told us, like, oh, you're the Sideshow. Here, this is the asphalt you're going to perform in when the bands aren't performing. And I had been running late. I didn't have goldfish with me, so I stopped at a pet store, and I had asked for a large goldfish. And I don't know if you guys have ever gotten feeder fish for, like, turtles or anything, but they have large goldfish and small goldfish. And there's always signs that say you can't pick the goldfish that you want because otherwise they're fishing around there for hours trying to get a specific fish.
Plus, it's not good for their self-image.
It's not. No fish shaming. And so you can't really tell them, but I like to say, like, could I have the smallest large fish in that tank? You know, if at all possible. So this woman hands me a bag. I wasn't paying attention prior to asking, and there's this giant goldfish in it. It's huge. I'm definitely not going to be able to just swallow this carefree. And she hands it to me, and I said, is there any way I get a smaller one? And she goes, well, what size tank is it going into? I started rubbing my belly, and I was like, this size tank. And I thought I was being hilarious, but it was not funny to her. She turned out to be some kind of weirdo, like, animal rights type of person working at Petco out in the middle of nowhere. And I said, bad joke? And she said, damn straight, and hands me the bag. And I kind of get peer pressured into buying this giant goldfish that I'm terrified of eating later. It's like, it was pretty big. I mean, it wasn't like a koi or anything, but you definitely don't want to eat it. So we come out, and actually I don't think I mentioned the first beginning part of this show. They carry me out in this kind of Tupperware container that we had been doing a lot of like stuff like stuffing me in boxes, like small containers, and then seeing how long I could stay in it without the audience knowing I was in it and then kind of coming out later. And Dan had pre-drilled all these holes in there so I could breathe, and I was really scared. I was like, look, man, the position I'm in this container, do not drop me, lower me down carefully because I'm afraid I'm going to break my neck. Like, I was, like, contorted really badly. They bring me out, and there's, like, a sheet on top so people think it's a blanket, like a little table they're going to bring out. And next thing I know, there's, like, a big crack and a boom, and I'm on the asphalt in a tarp. Looking around, the whole bottom had broken out because all of the air holes had compromised the integrity of the container. And it was kind of like a Reggie Smash moment that, like, nobody in the audience appreciated. They were just like, oh, these clowns. It was just, they were really unimpressed with everything we were doing. I do the goldfish in Worms Act. I'm eating worms, and then they go to eat the goldfish, and as they go to swallow it down, the fins open up, and it starts coming back up in my throat. And every time I cough, it's not really coming up anymore because the fins are cutting my throat and opening as it goes up. I can't swallow it down because it's fighting too much. And eventually, at one cough, it flies up out of my mouth, and Dan catches it in the glass. And somebody in the audience just yells, for the love of God, put some water in there. And he does, but they were just really unimpressed. And at the end of the show, some kids came up and took the goldfish from us, but the inside of my throat was cut up for days, and that's why I chew them from now on.
And you thought that was a great story, Kel?
Yeah, I think it's really cool, man. I don't. You don't, Tony? Please weigh in and enlighten us, O wise one.
I thought it was a good story, but it didn't sound like it was fun for Reggie.
Well, no, not at all. But it just.
That's mostly why it's funny, I think. Reggie's always the tragic character.
Remember the time that you fell out of the Tupperware and then you choked on a fish?
There's no Tupperware in her earlier story. It was just the fish choking.
The Tupperware was a very weird part of the story, but it was kind of awesome.
Continue, yeah. So I'm gonna do the solo thing here.
Ooh.
So,
Besides, I want to get back to some of the other stuff that you've done. So we know you ate bugs and some fish, and you do the bed of nails. What else do you do, or what else have you done, or what are you doing now as part of your regular routine?
I do a lot of fire. I do a grinder act, which is my Facebook main picture, my new grinder piece, which is made by a blacksmith in Delaware. I have a new version of the bed of it's like a new version of bed of nails, but it's bed of barbed wire, so it's barbed wire on top and below me, and then I have people come up and ride me like a cowboy with like a saddle, so I'm getting smashed in between 2 layers of barbed wire to the song Rhinestone Cowboy, and then I make them like shoot a confetti gun up in the air at the end of it and finish all over the both of us. It's a very adult-themed, awesome act. I do straitjacket escapes with chains and ropes. I do a Tesla coil act, glass walking, dancing, jumping, and stuff like that.
You have a Tesla coil, I assume, then?
Yeah.
Tesla coil act. How long have you had that?
It's actually been part of the show that we haven't used it that much until recently. We started using it a lot. But we've had it for about 5 years, 6 years.
I think SnarkAlec Radio needs a Tesla coil. That would be awesome. Again, it's probably not going to translate on the radio too well, but it would be fun.
If you and Tony will ride each other to Rhinestone Cowboy.
No, that's not a Tesla coil thing.
Finish up in the air and let it rain down on you.
Yeah.
I will buy you a Tesla coil. Oh, we're getting fisted by Tony.
Oh, well, as usual.
Tony, I can't take much more.
Well, you want to know something? You know what they say? It's always better to be the fister than to be the fisty. So.
Hear that.
Anyway, we'll be right back. You're listening to SnarkAlec Radio on Live 365's Loud and Loaded, and we will be right back. And we're back after a brief fisting. It's SnarkAlec Radio on Live 365's Loud and Loaded. Our super cool, awesome guest Reggie Boucher is here, along with less awesome Mike and less awesome Tony and completely less awesome Kelly. So we'll move right along. Darn it, I had a joke and it just got away from me. But I do think I Fall to Pieces might be a better song than Rhinestone Cowboy for the barbed wire thing. But give me time on that. I know what it was. It wasn't a joke. It was a question. So I'm a big Alice Cooper fan. And Alice has had
Bed of nails.
Bed of Nails. He's had Bed of Nails. He's had the Grinder too. He's had his daughter Calico on multiple shows kind of come out with the Codpiece and the Grinder during Nurse Rosetta and do that quite a bit. So that's been a staple of your show for a while then?
The Codpiece is pretty. You see a lot of Codpieces around. I actually have a Codpiece.
Oh, I see.
I still have the bra.
Don't get me started.
I've stepped it up. I have the bra with giant nipple rods.
Oh! You had mentioned that in that same interview, so that's those are now in play, if you will. The nipple rods are in play, so that's good. So there's sparks and stuff involved with that. You ever had any audience issues or not?
No, I haven't. Usually the people that I'm close enough to hit with things like that are interested in it. That's what I tell myself.
I think Mike's napping right now. I'm not really certain.
No, I was reading. Vex finally texted me.
For real, like an actual text, like not a made-up. I'm lying about the text. Yeah.
And he said that he wasn't impressed with your rendition of his questions either.
Sure. You know,
poor Vex, I'm so sorry.
You know,
so apparently, you're just gonna have to Facebook message Vex, I think, Reggie, so that he can ask his questions directly to you.
Because he's the only guy qualified.
Here, I'll send him a message right now.
We're not good enough, so.
Yeah. Say bite me, Vex. That's what you need to send him right now. It's just to chill him out.
So, Reg, is there anything that you've done that you only did once because you said, I'll never do that again?
Outside of this show.
No, I can't think of anything that I would do just once. I mean, I'm a sideshow performer, so there's a lot of stuff that I don't know. It's not so much that I don't like it. I get nervous doing.
Yeah, no, that was the question. Like, was there anything that you did and it didn't go the way that you thought it would go, and you'd say, well, yeah, I'm not going to do that again because I didn't like that, or
Yeah, I think it's kind of shitty when you're in sideshow just because you have a very limited amount of like specific acts you could do. Like you can dress it up, you can do it to different songs, you can have themed choreographed versions of it, but when it comes down to it, we're all doing the same like 10 to 20 acts. Everybody's doing a bed of nails act. It's just all your presentation and your delivery and how you do it. So I don't really have the luxury of saying, like, out of the 15 skills that I have, I'm not going to do the ones that scare me or make me unhappy, because it kind of is the only thing that makes my job challenging. I get terrified whenever people are putting me in the straitjacket, only because there's always that chance that they're going to, switch loops and, like, really fuck you up and not even put it in correctly, but make it so that you're just literally trapped there. And you're not really... it's incredibly vulnerable to be there and have no access to getting out or defending yourself in a large crowd where you're in a bar and you're pretty much just completely restrained. So sometimes, when I do acts like that, I get a little bit concerned and worried, but it doesn't stop me necessarily from doing it.
Okay, no, that's exactly what I was looking for. And just one other follow-up. Have you ever gotten hurt doing any of these things? Because something didn't go right?
Yeah, I don't eat a lot of insects anymore. I don't eat anything with an exoskeleton because it turns out the protein in those are the same as the protein in shellfish, and I have a fatal shellfish allergy. So I wound up in the hospital. That's why I have to carry around EpiPens all the time now. It was pretty bad. I lost all of my hearing, and I finished the show, but on my way out I was losing my vision, and I threw up when I was outside, and the first fire truck showed up and was just like, we can't transport. And this was at the venue where our show was. And then an ambulance came afterwards, and they brought me in. And I got a lot of epinephrine, which is basically adrenaline. So I was like freaking out. And it was a long night. It was pretty bad.
And how long ago was that?
That was July 7th, 2007, the lucky 777s.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I actually have a quick question for Kelly. Kelly, how many times have men restrained you in a bar?
None.
Oh.
I see. Reggie doesn't even believe that, and she doesn't know you.
You had the wrong place. You should have said prison.
Well, listen, what happens in prison stays in prison.
Yeah. Whatever. So we're gonna, looking at the time here, we're rocking. I did have a game, and I didn't know. Do we save this for another one, or do we?
Well, no, I think we should play a game. I just got one other question for Reggie. On your website, is like 100% up to date as far as dates and things that you've got going on.
100%, Reggie. 100.
I'm going to say 89%.
Oh.
Okay.
My Facebook fan page and my regular Facebook page are pretty up to date. When you go to like the About Me section on Facebook, all of my dates are there.
Okay.
And I had one other quick question, if I could throw it in. Can you tell us a little bit about the first banana?
Oh, the first banana is it's a pretty versatile space that I have up in Fishtown, around the corner from Pizza Brain. It's pretty cool. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the area, but it's kind of blossoming. It's an art gallery, but it's also a performance space. It has reinforced beams for suspension and aerials, but it also has a custom-built stage that's made specifically for sideshow performers and burlesque performers. It's just very small, intimate. There's art hanging all of the time, and there's private events and shows there on weekends and sometimes during the week.
So you could show SnarkAlec Radio 7x24 in a loop in there if you wanted to, right?
I do have a wall that's covered in projector paint, and we could project this all the time if you like.
But you want people to come back. So maybe not.
Now, what I was going to say is obviously we had spoken before about doing a show there, but now that you're saying about the burlesque space, I'm thinking we're obviously going to have to book 2 dates so that Tony and Kelly can do their entire burlesque act.
It's going to be awesome because I have numerous different pasties that I think that would, now that I'm getting to know you guys, now I know exactly which pasties you belong in.
Oh, goodness. I don't know how to respond to that.
I can tell that Tony needs tassels. He's a twirler. I can feel it.
So I think that's the quote of the show is Tony is a twirler. I can feel it.
That might be the best thing any guest has ever said.
So twirly, what do you got to say about that?
Go fuck yourself, Kelly.
Oh, God, not the baby. Not the baby. Baby's creepy. So, I'm still recovering from the ice and all that. So we're sitting at 9:20. Do we have a break coming up? Do we have time? So the game I've got, it's 10 questions. We don't have to do all 10. I think it'll be kind of fun.
Do we have to go into a closet?
You do not have to go into a closet.
No, Kelly's got to come out of his.
Wait a minute, Kelly, you told me that was for the game.
No.
Kelly!
No, these are just questions about lyrics, and we just want to see how things work out here on that. So I'm just trying to figure out, Tony, in terms of show blocking, how much we got left in this segment. And
We've got 5, but if we break now, we can do that. And are we going to announce a date for SnarkStock, Mike?
No, not unless.
No.
We'll get to that at the end.
Very end. Okay. So you want to take a break and do the game, and then we'll wrap up and get out?
Sounds good. So we'll be right back here listening to SnarkAlec Radio and Live 365's Loud and Loaded. We will be right back. Hey, and we're back. You're with Twisty Tony, Morbid Mike, Perfectly Normal and Unassuming Kelly, and Reggie Boumouche. And so now we're going to move into a game. And this game is about song lyrics. And so I'm going to offer you songs and song lyrics. And so I'm going to offer you a question, and I'm going to ask all 3 of you to respond. I'll keep rotating it around for ease of my asking the question. Ladies, sorry, Tony, first on this. And so we're going to begin with Reggie on this question. So and then I'll start rotating from there. But the first question is, there are reggae artists, Michigan and Smiley, who wrote about people who became ill and supposedly deserved it because they did bad things. So it's a shaky philosophy and a lousy biology, but what 2 perilous conditions did they rhyme in a song? And Reggie, your choices are elephantitis and polomyelitis, bursitis and arthritis, pancreatitis and hepatitis, or colitis and meningitis.
I'm going to go with bursitis and arthritis.
Bursitis and arthritis, okay. Mikey?
What was the first one?
The first one was elephantitis and polomyelitis.
I'm going with that one.
Okay. Mr. T?
I'm going with the first one.
Going with the first one. Okay. Next question. This is a Jamaican producer, King Tubby. We're all big King. we're all big King Tubby fans here. But he lost.
You know, it's crazy. I was going to wear my King Tubby shirt on the show, and I was like, nobody will get it.
Was he King Tubby? So was he like the king of the Teletubbies or something?
No, he was the one that lost his life in a tragic shooting, Tony, if you must know. And his friend, Lee Scratch Perry, wrote a song about his death called Colt in the Game. So what did Perry, who wrote this song in dedication of King Tubby, who Tony made fun of, who's been shot to death. So Colt in the Game, Perry singing the song, and Perry declared himself something. Did Perry declare himself? And we're going to start with you, Mike, on this one. The Voice of Justice, the Space Police, the Fine Art of Garden Life, or a Flying Vampire Bat? Voice of Justice, Space Police, Fine Art of Garden Life, or a Flying Vampire Bat?
if a close friend of mine were to be murdered and Tony were to mock them on the radio because he's soulless, I would say that flying vampire bat is the way that I would feel.
Tony, voice of justice, space police, fire ant in the Garden of Life, or flying vampire bat?
I was going to go with space police, but I think I'm going to go with voice of justice.
Voice of justice. For
The voice of justice.
Reggie Boumache.
I'm going with space police, because if you're dead, what else are you going to do?
That's a very good point. All right. So, the group New Shoes, S-H-O-O-Z, New Shoes, 8-track. Anyway, New Shoes had a big hit with the dance single, Point of No Return. However, the song opens with an unusual assertion. Was the assertion, love is a cliff, and Tony, this is yours to start with. So, Tony, was it love is a cliff, and I'm pushing you over it? Love is a glitch, and I'm going to ride over it? Love is a ditch, and I'm going to run into it? Or love is a bridge, and I'm going to jump off of it? Love is a cliff, pushing you over it. Love is a glitch, going to ride over it. Love is a ditch, going to run into it. Love is a bridge, going to jump off of it.
Which is the one with jumping over it, or not the bridge one?
There's love is a cliff, I'm pushing you over it.
That's
love is a glitch, I'm going to write over it. So we go on the first one, okay? Reggie.
I'm going to go with the bridge.
Okay. Mike.
Well, love poured like 30 gallons of water on my head earlier. Is that an option?
That's not one of the options I gave, no.
Not okay. So
So
I'm
you
gonna
could
go with
select
glitch.
it. You're going to go with what?
I'll go with
Glitch.
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 Alrighty. Okay, question number 4. Another big dance hit in the 1980s was A-E-I-O-U by the group Freeze, F-R multiple E's Z. Freeze had a lively beat and a catchy chorus. What other factor etched this track into listeners' minds? So the song is A-E-I-O-U. And did they, on their extended mix, sing the consonants? Did they never explain why they were only singing vowels? On the flip side of the release, did they sing just the alphabet from other languages? Or in concert, would they write the letters on a giant blackboard? So you've got the only in a remix singing the consonants. They never explained it. They just sang the vowels. On the flip side, they did alphabets from different languages. Or in concert, they'd write on a giant blackboard. Reggie, you're up.
Never explained it.
Okay. Mike?
This is the most complicated fucking question I've ever been asked.
Well, I'm doing my best to make it so. Reggie didn't seem to have a problem.
All right, so I'm gonna go with they sang the alphabet in other languages.
Oh, will you really? Oh.
See, this isn't. See, here's the problem. I do really good at the games that are about toys, like sex toys and adult diapers. That game was awesome.
It was good. It was a very good.
I killed at that game, but this, no.
I don't know, but it's kind of fun, right? To try and guess.
No, it's good.
Okay. Tony?
Well, this is the first song that I think I kind of know that you've spoken about so far. I'm going to agree with Reggie. But then again, there should have been a fifth choice, which it was I really don't give a fuck. So, but I'm going to agree with Reggie.
So we'll go with that enthusiasm on the game, Tony. Appreciate it, and we'll move on to the next question, which will be, and I'll do that. And based on Tony's input, I'll make this the last question. The Counting Crows had a song called "Mr. Jones," which tells about two people commiserating over the state of their lives. One of the characters said he had a strange feeling the other day. What was this strange feeling the character had in Mr. Jones? Mike, I believe we start with you, and your choices are, I felt like a potato yesterday. I felt very symbolic yesterday. I felt like a Ramada yesterday.
Ooh.
or I feel like a beer bottle today. So potato yesterday, symbolic yesterday, Ramada today, or beer bottle today.
You know, there's been times that I felt like a Ramada. And by that, I mean a bathroom people were doing cocaine off of the stalls in. But, yeah, apparently I don't know that song as well as I would have guessed that I did, because none of those sound familiar to me. So I'm going to say beer bottle just because I want a beer.
All right, fair enough. Tony.
Mr. Jones and me, we're feeling so symbolic.
Okay.
Now I have to pay them like 3 cents, Tony.
Yeah, way to go. Reggie?
It's symbolic.
There you go. Okay.
Well, are you going to ask more like, you know, are you going to use like more rock, like band stuff?
No, I'm going to stop because you don't like the game. Game's
No, I
over.
didn't
Anyway,
say
the
wait.
final results are.
Do the
We're
unasked
done.
questions involve Japanese noise music?
No,
I'll
there's
fucking
several. There's
kill that,
5
but-
more very interesting questions, but Kelly's not going to do them. So, the final scores are Tony won. Dude got 4 out of 5 right. Reggie, 3 out of 5. Mike, 1 out of 5.
Wait, which one did I get right?
The first one. You got elephantitis and polomyelitis.
What, bursitis and
Ask
arthritis?
it, Reggie. Oh, no, that's
Nobody's
Tony.
rapping about that?
So congratulations, Tony. Big winner on a game you hated. So,
I didn't
anyway.
say I hated it. I didn't say I hated it. I was commenting on the song in the question. I wasn't commenting on your game.
He was commenting on your game, Kelly. He's saying that your game isn't good enough.
That's
No.
what I heard. That's what I heard. That's what I heard.
No, it was Mike before me.
Reggie's saying this week, too.
Long-ass question that you asked.
Well, I won't do any more. So, anyway.
Oh.
Now
I
his
had
feelings are hurt.
Yeah, I
Crushed.
thought it was a good game.
We're going to have to go back into co-host therapy.
Yeah.
No.
Do
Yeah,
the trust
I-
exercises.
So this just in from Twitter. Rachel Rigda says that Kelly needs a tutu to go with my tassels.
Yeah, we can make that happen.
Yeah, it's a good
I-
thing we don't
I
care what
can see
Rachel has
that.
to say.
I have tutus right at the bottom of my feet with my costumes. Tons of tutus for you.
And I think they're
Black,
awesome.
masculine black tutus.
Masculine black tutus, my favorite
Yeah.
band ever.
Yeah, may your first tutu be a masculine
Masculine black tutu. Yeah, we don't listen to Rachel. She's from Australia, which is like just south of Canada. So we don't listen to her.
We also don't look at maps.
Oh, I got a question for you, Cal. We don't have anybody for next week?
Spiritually, no.
Okay,
I'm aware.
Bronwyn.
That'd be cool. Busy lady. So we can see. We should check with her. We can.
No,
we can do that.
she's free. She's free.
Okay. Well then, yeah. So why are you asking me a question if you have all the answers?
No, I just wanted to know because I didn't know if you spoke to some of the other people that we talked about talking about.
Not yet. No.
Okay, so
Not per date.
Well, before we wrap anything up, though, I did want to give Reggie a chance. Kelly hates plugs, so I waited till the end to get this in here. But, Reggie, could you tell us about some of your upcoming dates and where you'll be traveling to?
Which I would love to hear, Reggie. By the way. So go ahead.
Oh, why, thanks, guys. Except Tony.
hey, well, I was the one who asked way earlier if your website was up to date because I was going to put it on our website. But you want to know something? Maybe I won't now.
He asked it in a judgy way, though.
No! No! Oh, it's only teasing.
Oh,
It's okay. He really wasn't into the show anyway.
Reggie, where will you be next?
I'm going to be leaving on Sunday for a week in San Francisco and then a week in LA. And then I will be at the Philadelphia Art Museum on September 5th doing Art After 5. And then, let me see. I'm going to be in D.C. on the 6th at the Black Cat for Circus at the O. And then I will be in Tampa September 12th through the 14th. And then on September 27th, I'll be performing at the Ripley's Believe It or Not stage at the Shindig in Baltimore with Gorgo Bordello and...
Really? Gogo Bordello? Really? Awesome! Awesome!
It's going to be It's a cool festival.
You're plenty awesome, Reggie, but Gogo Bordello is pretty awesome, too.
He's way more awesome than I am.
Oh, I don't know. They haven't come on our show, and you have. Makes you more awesome. So is that done? Is that done with the plugging there, Mike? Are you happy?
Yes, thank you, Kelly. Kelly, whenever we try and plug things on this show, Kelly kind of stands in the way of that. So
it's not exactly the truth, but
100% the truth. Don't listen to anything he says. He's a drunk and a liar.
George Washington, Mike. Yeah. Mr. Honest. Cool. So we may have someone from Canada next week. So, Tony, do you have your headset back on? I'm trying to piece this together.
Yes, I do.
Yes. Cool. So next week, Bronwyn is a yes?
She said she was available, and I just confirmed with her. Well, she didn't get back and say yay, but I confirmed with her, yes.
So we're just going to call that confirmed. That's close enough.
We feel as
and if she doesn't do it, we go to war with Canada. That's the bottom line. I'm making that call for the country.
I'm down.
Reggie's in. So,
Reggie, have you ever gotten Sigourney Weaver? Has anybody said that you look like Sigourney Weaver?
I have before. Yeah, I consider that one of the better compliments that I get. I get a lot of her and Frida Kahlo.
Okay. No, because I think I mentioned it, and a lot of people said I don't see it, and I definitely do, and I say that in a good way. I think, hey, Sigourney Weaver's hot. You know what I mean?
I think she is too. That's why I sent you a heart.
And she kicks alien ass. Besides being hot, she kicks alien ass. So
yeah, she's pretty rad.
You just got extremely animated defending Sigourney Weaver.
Who wouldn't?
No, I completely understand, but
yeah, and just the same way that Kelly and Mike get animated when they're defending going to see the Lego Movie, you know.
The Lego Movie is awesome. So.
No, we just don't throw hate at people who've seen it, but that's just.
I didn't throw any hate at anybody.
Normally well-wired individuals, but that's just.
It's okay. Kelly and I are just way more accepting of people than Tony is.
That's right. Yeah, it's our thing. You know, it's just kind of a quirk of ours, accepting people.
It is.
That's what makes Tony fun, though. Like, you have to earn his friendship.
That's right. You got to earn that respect, motherfucker.
Put me in line.
Work for it. Work for it.
And on that note, we've got Bronwyn from Canada. Reggie, you've been crazy awesome. Would you ever consider coming back on again?
Yeah, for sure. Especially if I got to be a part of the pool.
Oh, the pool is out in Bloomington, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Not so close, but
now, and remember, everybody, Kelly does offer up his house to random people who are staying in Chicago or the Chicago area.
Do we have any word on the fundraiser? Is there anything happening with that? Like, what's going on?
Yes, I found out what the problem with it was, and the problem was PayPal.
Okay.
As it always is.
Okay. So
sounds very zen.
All of the world's problems are centered around PayPal.
I found the problem.
That's how wars start.
PayPal.
Someone wakes up one day, their PayPal account is fucked up. They just start bombing people.
Isn't that the way of the world?
We've just solved all the world's wars right now.
Improve PayPal's server infrastructure and all will be well. Indeed. Well, what a tremendously interesting episode of SnarkAlec Radio. Reggie, crazy cool. I mean, it was Mike, and so it pains me because I don't like Mike at all. So it pains me that we would not have had a chance to visit with you without Mike suggesting you come on, and it was incredibly cool. So I would like to thank Mike for suggesting.
Reggie, can you say that last part again?
I would like to thank Mike for having Reggie come on, and more importantly, I would like to thank Reggie for coming on and being so awesome. So thanks,
Thanks,
Reggie.
guys.
And Reggie, I just want you to know that I got crapped on last week because I was pronouncing your name, Bug Muncher, but and then I was told that I had to what did I have to do?
Use the umlauts.
I had to use the umlaut, but Mike is sending me texts, and he's not putting the umlauts in his texts when he's sending them to me.
The umlaut is suggested.
Wait, are you guys texting each other right now?
Not me.
Oh, no,
not me at all. Zero.
My phone's been sitting here the whole time. No, we haven't been texting, but
Okay.
prior
I
to
thought we were all part of something, and then, to find out that you guys were, like, in a separate little group made this all different for me now.
There's a little Mike Tony vibe that's.
It's entirely sexual. I'm not gonna lie.
well, Mike is up down in Philly, and I live up near Trenton, and I see Mike.
Right where he
Why do you
belongs.
always have to go there, Kelly?
Oh
Why
yeah,
do you
that's
always
me.
have to make it
Yeah,
dirty?
that's me. Yeah, I'm sorry, Tony. I'm the guy.
You know, it's
Rolls
funny
this
because
show
after
every
last
day.
week's show, Vex was like, "Man, Kelly's a nice guy, but he has such a foul mouth."
Yeah. Yeah,
Vex
he's so.
said that?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, I offended Vex given my Randy language.
So Sunday is A House Is Not a Home. Hey, it's this movie right here. A House Is Not a Home. And if
Actual movie, not a fake movie, Mike. Please take note.
so, Reggie, are you doing anything on Sunday?
I fly to San Francisco on Sunday.
You're going to San Francisco? Oh,
She
Yeah.
actually already said that, but you weren't that into the show at that point.
That's because I was
No.
mean.
yeah, no, I threw my headset away because I was updating our website with a link to Reggie's website. But
Oh my God, Tony, you're so nice. Thank you.
but yeah, and you yelled at me because like I asked a question before about your dates being up to date because I wanted to make sure if I put it up there, everything was going to be up to date and it was going to be all nice. And what you doing? You shit on me!
Because you were judgy. Because you were judgy.
God damn it!
Judgy. You were judgy.
I was not judgy.
You were judgy.
I was.
It might
not
have been your
being-
tone. It might have been your tone.
No,
Felt a
I
little
was.
judgy.
Respect the guest.
Okay, I will.
And on that note.